For a while, I've been getting glimpses of heaven through meditation. My dead loved ones are taking me to heaven and they're giving me a tour of the other side. Welcome to Elevate Your Consciousness. My name is Birma. I am a spiritual teacher that through meditation I am able to communicate with Source, my higher self, my spiritual guides, and my dead loved ones. In this instant, we're going to be talking about my aunt that passed away about a year ago, July 22nd, 2025. She was my best friend, my confidant. We were very close. She went to the hospital because she had pneumonia. She waited too long. By the time she got there, she was very sick. She ended up having a heart attack. Her heart stopped. She went into coma. And during that time, I started communicating to her consciousness, getting in touch with her. She told me that she was fighting very hard. She didn't want to pass away, that when her heart stopped, she actually went to the other side and she had a story to tell. She felt that she had a testimony and she didn't want to pass away. She had her granddaughter and her family. She said that she wasn't ready. During the time that she was in the hospital, she ended up getting worse. They intubated her and they sent her home. The problem with that is at the house, you don't have all the equipment that you have in the hospital. So she ended up passing away. Her heart stopped and she passed away. On the day that she passed, I was able to communicate and get in touch with her. I asked her where she was. She said that she was in heaven, but at the same time, she was talking to me and she was at her house seeing what was going on there. I said, "Do you see Jesus?" Because she was very Catholic. She was at church every single Sunday and she was always reading the Bible and she was very involved with the church. She said that in fact, Jesus welcomed her to heaven, and that Jesus was the love, the kindness of God. She said Jesus is very much alive and that she loves him and that Jesus loves her. She also said that she was a version of love, that each one of us is actually a version of God. That she came here and that her purpose was to love and she accomplished her purpose. So she said, "Birma, I see that you have a huge purpose and God have given you so much and you're not accomplishing that purpose that God gave you. You're not doing what God sent you here to do. And I see that you have a bright light and that you are God's voice while you're here. That is your purpose, to speak, to teach, to do those videos. So I will be reminding you every time that we speak, that we connect through meditation." Another time that we spoke, she also talked to me about keeping in touch with your family, how important it is to keep in touch with your loved ones. She talked about Christmas being a celebration of Jesus' birth, not just for giving gifts and for partying, but actually for keeping in touch with your family. Because family was very important to her. She says, "I was sent here to love, and that's what I did. I loved my family, and I love when they would call me." It was very important to me to get that communication from my loved one, to get that phone call, a text message, because I love my family. So I want each one of you to still be in touch with your family and call your family because it is important. We continue to communicate almost monthly. She helped me out when I had a kidney stone and she gave me a lot of advice. So then I said to her, "I would like to go to heaven. I would like to see how you live in heaven. Can you do that for me?" And the reason why I asked her is because I know this is possible for me. I have already done it with my cousin. Please go watch this video over here. So I wanted to see how she lived there. I wanted to have that experience as well. So she said, "Concentrate." I said, "Okay, put something in my hand." And she said my favorite thing in the world was the Bible, Psalms. I love the Bible. I love to read the Bible. Concentrate on that. So I started concentrating on the Bible. I was flipping it. I was looking at the title. I was just trying to feel it, trying to visualize it, just to get really into that space where I'm really focused into this visualization. So while I was focusing on the Bible, touching it, flipping it, just flipping the pages and everything, all of a sudden, we are there. I realized that we are in front of her house, but there is a long walkway like this, right? And on the side is full of sunflowers. On this side, sunflowers on that side, and the sunflowers, they're dancing in with the air. Beautiful. And right there in front of me, I can see the house. And the house was huge. It was white. And I asked her, how many rooms do you have in that house? And she says, I have 12 rooms. So we get to the step, and all of a sudden, we are inside the house. The house is like my cousin's house. It's marble floor. The walls are white. The couch is white. And she says, nothing gets dirty in heaven. So over here, we can have white things. Then I sense a tiny dog, and I says, who is that dog? She said, that is my little dog that passed away. Tell my daughter that I have the dog here with me. So then she continued and she shows me the backyard. In the backyard, she has a mango tree. She has guava trees that she said that were her favorite. And she has pigeon peas because she used to love pigeon peas and rice. She says, tell my daughter not to offer me any food. What she needs to do is just say that the food is for me, eat it, and then I will taste the food. She also says that whenever they want to eat, they can take the form of a human. That their natural form is the form of a little ball of light, and they each have their own individual color because each soul is made special and each soul has its own color. So she told me that whenever she wants something or some food, she can just take the form of the body that she previously had in this incarnation. Then she tells me that the reason why they have so many rooms is because they are creator. They are a version of God, right? So they are also creator. They are also God. And they can create. They practice creating. And they do this in these rooms. That's why they have so many rooms. So she takes me to a room where she's creating a whole universe with galaxy and everything in there. When she opened the door, I can see stars in the distance and I can see planets. And she tells me that's what we do. We practice here being the creator, creating things. That's why the rooms, because we actually don't sleep. So then I said, where is my grandmother? My grandmother showed up and she looked younger. By the way, my aunt also looked younger. She was 30 years old. But the funny thing is that my grandmother, since my grandfather passed away, she always wore black and white. And when I saw her in heaven, she's still wearing black and white. And I said, you're in heaven. Why are you wearing black and white clothes? She says, that's the way you see me. That's the way that you remember me. It doesn't mean that I'm wearing black and white clothes. So she looked younger. She didn't have gray hair. So I said to my grandmother, put something in my hand. She places a cup of coffee. She says, I love coffee. So I pretended like I drank it. Because what goes to heaven is my spirit. That's what goes over there. But I can still feel my body over here. So I cannot taste anything on the other side. I can only see and hear, but I cannot taste anything. So I went like this, like I pretended that my spirit was taking that cup of coffee. Then my aunt comes in and she was like, "Oh my God, I am so happy you're here." And all of us, we start jumping around and we start hugging each other. And we were just so happy to be with each other. And she said, "I can't believe you're here. I'm so happy that you're here." And she wanted to send a lot of love to her family, to her sons, and to her brothers and sisters. So I felt like something was pulling me back. I felt like it was time for me to go. The reason is that when I meditate, I have an alarm, and the alarm was about to sound. And I said, "Don't worry, I'll be back." So the alarm sounded, and I opened my eyes, I set it up for more time, closed my eyes, and my aunt and my grandmother were there waiting for me. So they each placed their favorite things, the Bible. My grandmother placed her coffee, and my aunt placed rice pudding. I took all three, I hold on to it, and they grabbed me by my hand and they took me to the sky. And I can see a lot of clouds, and we were traveling pretty fast. Finally, we make it to a spot where there's a sitting area, and all of my dead uncles and my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, they're all sitting around this fire. There's a little fire in the middle, and there's these benches. I thought they looked a little bit uncomfortable, and I wanted a rocking chair. And I thought about a rocking chair, and right away a rocking chair appeared. So I sat in the rocking chair, and each one of them took their time to put something in my hand. So my grandfather put a rooster, and I see another red colored rooster. He said the rooster were his favorite. So he had a message for my father. Then my uncle, one that used to drink a lot, he came and he put a bottle of rum. And I said, "Oh my God, what in the world? Why would you put a bottle of rum? You're in heaven." He said, "Because I was a drunk and I used to love alcohol. And that was my favorite thing. I wouldn't give it up for anything when I was alive. So that's why I am placing this in your hands." He gave his message. He sat down. My other uncle stood up. He died at a younger age. And he says that his daughters had resentments. However, his death was already planned. He was going to die. If it wasn't from whatever he died, he was going to die from something else, but he was meant to die at an early age. And all of them share their messages that they had. They sat back down. They were really happy to see me, and they told me that this was very special. That it's not every single day that they get to see a loved one that is still alive on earth go to heaven and speak to them. That this was a special occasion. Everybody was really happy, and I was really excited to see all these people that I haven't seen in so many years, especially my grandfather. He died when I was 11 years old. So seeing him and seeing all my uncles and my grandmother and everybody that had passed and my favorite aunt, it was very special. So then I opened my eyes and I came back and finished the meditation. A different time that we had another conversation through meditation, she was explaining to me how it is so easy for them to become any other form. Like when she was saying that she can go into her backyard and turn into a sunflower. And she was saying that actually the plants can see. And I said, "How so?" She said, "Because you see, the consciousness of the plant, just like your consciousness, lives outside. But the consciousness sends a signal into the plant. Through that signal, it sends a vision of what the consciousness is actually seeing. And the plant is able to process it and somehow is able to see." So that's what she explained, that the plant can actually see through the consciousness which sends a signal to the plant, and they can see. Then I said, where is God in heaven? And then she said, God is the light of heaven. She said, God is all there is. We are a version of God, the Creator. That's why we practice creating things. That's why we have the freedom to create anything that we want. We practice being the Creator. God is all there is. We are just one version of God. At that moment, I heard the voice of God, and it said, I am the beginning, I am the end, I am all there is. And I felt like God looking out through my eyes, like I was God in this body, just looking. That's what it felt like. I was totally aware that I was the Creator, just in this body, simply forgotten. That's what I saw. That was very interesting. I felt that before, but every time I feel it, it just, it's incredible. It's kind of hard to explain that feeling. So I have many other glimpses of heaven from other loved ones that have shared, that had helped me go to the other side and see what is heaven all about. And I would love to share with you. So please don't forget to subscribe and come back here. I have another video with my brother, the glimpses of heaven. He showed me his house. Come back. There's another video coming up after this one about another story of another dead loved one that showed me something wonderful from the other side as well. So I'll see you in the next time. Bye bye.